She act like it hurts her to tell you this. I think you better sit down. Fuck I got to sit down for? You remember when I kept asking you to spend time with me? To spend time. To spend time. To spend some quality fucking time. You never had the time. You always had to be with your friends. You never had the fucking time. Well, somebody else got your time.
Shalom. I want to give all praises to Yahweh by Yashim, Yahweh Shah by Yashim, Wakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well, and peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word in sincerity, also in truth. This is one of my favorite stand-up comedies. This is by Barton Lawrence. You So Crazy. This is back in like 94. And here, this particular clip, he was talking about how, you know, this dude, he always wanted to hang out with his friends versus being with his chick. And the chick finally got fed up and left him. And I thought about this. I've been thinking about this all day. Because, you know, the brothers in my camp have been pushing heavily to trim, you know, make sure that you are, you know, clinging on, you know, cleaving on to wisdom, you know, and really just pursuing wisdom as you would pursue a woman. And I thought of this skit, you know, a lot of times, you know, people that were in this truth, they decided that they were going to give somebody else their time versus wisdom, and wisdom ended up leaving them, man. And that's what you don't want, you know, to happen, you know, in this truth. You don't want it to where wisdom is not happy to dwell with you anymore. She up and leaves, you know, kind of like a woman that was a good woman, you know, which it's kind of hard to use this analogy nowadays because I know a lot of brothers haven't really just experienced that, you know, a woman that's cool, but you know, for the sake of this conversation, you know, a woman that's cool, you know, a woman that's, you know, she does for the most part does what you say, for the most part, cooks for you, you know, cleans for you, you know, and you know, fuck off and, excuse my language, and decide to you know, hang out with your boys, you know, hang out with other females, you know, or that woman that was down for you, you know, or your bottom, if you will, she could get fed up, frustrated, and guess what? She could leave. You see, how much more so for something like truth, you know, which is wisdom, you know, in the scriptures. You know, we are to pursue wisdom as we pursue a woman of interest, a woman that we know we can obtain. You see what I'm saying? A woman that we, you know, desire to have, you know. That's how we are supposed to pursue wisdom, you know. But if we decide, you know, once we retain a little bit of it, you know, of that wisdom, you see, and decide to get lackadaisical, she could leave, you know. She could go to somebody else, you know. And once this wisdom that we have leave you, you know, the true covenant, the true comforter, because nothing like the true comforter, not these women you know, in the world. These women aren't the true comforters, you know. They're cool, you know, don't get it twisted. But the true comforter is these scriptures, man. That's what's going to comfort you, you know. If she leaves you, and the times that we're living in, you know, best believe that you are going to be in all types of straits, whether it be, you know, mental straits or physical straits, man. And there's so many different examples that we could use, you know, if wisdom decides to leave you. So let's get a couple scriptures. Now, this is Proverbs 13:20. He that walketh with wise man shall be wise, but a companion of fools shall be destroyed. So you giving everybody else your time, but these scriptures, guess what? Eventually you're going to be destroyed, you know, and it's a slow process. You know, you might not see that you're slipping, but other brothers might see it. Other brothers, you know, see your faults, See that you are bringing out less, and then when you're bringing out about the same topic, a topic that you're dealing with. It has nothing to do with prophecy. You see, which is a small example. Or you start um, going back to how you used to fix problems back in the world. Whether drinking too much or uh, becoming angry and lashing out. More and more of those incidents of you being in the flesh versus in the spirit are going to occur to where eventually the Most High is going to flush you out. And you don't want to be flushed out, man. You don't want to be in this world. Because guess what? Once you leave the truth, you're going to be in a situation, far worse than what you were in the truth. Because guess what? The demons that you were dealing with in the world, they're going to come back sevenfold. Now, this is Matthew 12 and 43. When the unclean spirit is gone out of a man, he walketh through dry places, seeking rest, and findeth none. Then he saith, I will return into my house from whence I came out. And when he is come, he findeth it empty, swept and garnished. Then goeth he and taketh with himself 7 other spirits more wicked than himself, and they enter in and dwell there. And the last state of that man is worse than the first. That's right. So, when you have been cleansed by, the Heavenly Father with the wisdom that you attain, by watching the videos, chiefly by studying the Word, taking notes and things of that nature. When you stop doing that, that's when, you can allow these demons to enter, into your body or your bayath. And when they enter in, they cause all types of strife, and problems in your spirit. But if which you could eventually, pray off, or work off if you're toiling in this truth, or if you're constantly seeking after wisdom. But if you decide, guess what? I'm not going to study less, not take notes, not to be around Ahchya, not seek wisdom, if you will. Guess what's going to happen? Well, those demons, or that demon that you was dealing with, is going to come back on you, with 7 more unclean spirits. So you're going to be in the worst state. You see? So it's very important that we're paying attention to what we're doing every day. At least trying to read every day, which I'm not going to sit here and say every day I read, but I try to. I make it, earnest steps too, But it's very important that we're sitting down and we're getting intimate with these scriptures, man. Very important, not leaning onto our own understanding and not, just allowing everything and anything to enter into our life, which in the Paleo Hebrew means our mind. But we're focusing on the will of the Heavenly Father and pleasing Him. Not doing what we want to do. Not living a carnal or a fleshly life. Because we're coming to a time to where we're going to need this wisdom. You see, wisdom is going to be, it's going to give us our understanding. It's going to give us stability. Okay? When everybody else is going crazy, we're going to rejoice in the day of the Lord. In which the day of the Lord is going to be a very fearful and a very dark, gloomy day, man. There's going to be a lot of, violence and carnage out here in the streets. And if you're not paying attention to, again, that wisdom, seeking her, you're not going to have that understanding. And guess what? You're going to go insane right along with the world, man. Isaiah 33:6, and wisdom and knowledge shall be the stability of thy times, and strength of salvation. The fear of Yahweh is his treasure. Behold, the valiant ones shall cry without. The ambassadors of peace shall weep bitterly. And that's what you're going to see, you know, nationwide. You're going to see people just lamenting and in a state of confusion, man. Why is that? Because, you know, all hell has broke loose. You know, their way of life has been turned upside down. You know, these people have been flourishing a lie of America, and that lie is about to be torn down very soon. And with that, and guess what? We're in America, so within America falling, it's going to greatly affect us, and our minds need to be on that constantly, man. Behold, it's like you already read that. Verse 8, the highways lie waste, the wayfaring man ceaseth, he hath broken the covenant, he hath despised these cities, he regardeth no man. No man, that's right. The highways are going to be destroyed, you know. One, because the infrastructure is going to deteriorate, which we're already seeing now, and two, because they're going to shut down these streets. So traveling to and fro, going at state to state, things of that nature, people aren't gonna be able to do that anymore. Also, we're not gonna be able to do that anymore. We're not gonna be able to get in our cars and just go see a brother. You know, I myself, I enjoy going to see them brothers down there in Mississippi. It's very therapeutic for me, man. To, be around different brothers and break bread with them. But it's gonna come to a time where we're not gonna be able to see each other anymore. When the elders apostle comes down, that's some of my biggest life lessons, when I get to just sit down and listen to them speak. Honestly, I get a lot more understanding about just living, with them coming around. There's certain lessons that I learned when Etta Tahar came down. Apostle Salaki Tahar came, Apostle Gabar came down, that stuck with me. And I was a young man. That's almost 10 years ago, man. Not saying I'm just, dirt old now. But I think brothers understand what I'm saying. I'm saying all that to say, that's going to greatly affect us too. All these things that are coming to this earth is going to greatly affect us. And if you're not paying attention to, the times that we're living in, guess what? That this turmoil is going to consume you, and your faith is going to be is going to deteriorate, man. The earth moaneth and languisheth. Lebanon is ashamed and hewn down. Sharon is like a wilderness, and Bashan and Carmel shake off their fruits. Now will I rise, saith Yahweh, and now will I be exalted. Now will I lift up myself. Ye shall conceive chaff. Ye shall bring forth stubble. Your breath as fire shall devour you. And the people shall be as the burning of a lime, and thrones cut off shall be burned in the fire. Hear ye that are far off what I have done, and ye that are near acknowledging my might. The sinners of Zion are afraid. Filthiness hath surprised the hypocrites. Salaki for yelling. The sinners in Zion are afraid. Filthiness hath surprised the hypocrites. All these, we out here on these highways and byways yelling, telling people to get right, things of that nature. We do not want to be hypocrites in that day. We want to hold on and cleave on to our understanding. You see, who among us shall dwell with the burning fire? Who among us shall dwell with everlasting burning? He that walketh righteously and speaketh uprightly, he that despiseth the gain of oppressions, that shake his hands from holding of brides, that stoppeth his ear from hearing of blood, and shutteth his eyes from seeing evil. He shall dwell on high. His place of defense shall be in the munition of rocks. Bread shall be given him, and water shall be sure. The Most High is going to take care of his elect. If you are paying attention, if you are toiling in this thing, if you are understanding why you are going through all this pain, anguish right now, and everybody else is chilling. If you're broke, yet you're trying to be a brother. You're out there, a good brother, you ain't no ugly dude, can't find a woman. You know what I'm saying? Got a woman, and struggling to make ends meet. Whatever your situation is. Heck, IRS problems. You know what I'm saying? Infirmities, all these things you're going up against. If you take all these things, and endure and stay on a path which requires wisdom, require you seeking wisdom daily, will require you, making strong endeavors to stay in the spirit. The Most High is going to take care of you in that day. You see what I'm saying? But if you aren't, guess what? You're going to be surprised. You're going to be the hypocrite that's surprised in verse 14. Okay, so I want to give all praise to Yahweh by Shem Yahushua. Double honors to the apostles and the elders that rule well. Peace and blessings to you brothers out there that's kicking his word, sincerity, also in truth. Shalom.